everybody, welcome back to yet another political reaction video. I'm your girl Olivia Rondo, and today we are reacting to one of my favorite new Trump administration officials. She is the Assistant Department of Homeland Security Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. I hope I'm saying that right. I probably am not, but she's a young woman who just knows her stuff, and she goes on CNN and she's just gonna tear him up. I already know she's gonna tear him up. I haven't watched this video yet. But the topic is the South African Afrikaners, white refugees that touched down in the United States last Monday. And mind you, this whole freakout is over less than 60 white people from South Africa coming to this country. So this whole freakout, this whole thing on CNN, they're mad about 59 white people coming to this country. I need a drink for this. This is my Coke. I get a lot of lemon in my Coke, y'all. It's also my second Coke of the day because I've just been going. So let's go.
Let me start here. Despite the president's repeated reference, can we just start this conversation by agreeing that Afrikaners are not facing genocide?
Absolutely not. First of all, I have to correct the facts, Victor. You said that no refugees were let in. Under President Donald Trump, since January 20th, 8,666 individuals have been granted asylum. Those people have faced persecution for their politics, persecution for the color of their skin, their religion, and that includes those 59 Afrikaners who came in this country last week who have faced racial violence at the hand of their own government. They've had their land seized because of the color of their skin. There's been over 140 laws enacted that are race-based and to discriminate against racial minorities. So I got to correct the facts where you're wrong, Victor, and you're wrong.
So, several things. President Ramaphosa says that although the law was signed in January that would give the government the purview to take the land, no land has been taken from Afrikaners. Also, that's President Ramaphosa. He'll be at the White House this week. Take it up with him. Also...
Okay, rude. Okay, take it up with him. First of all, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, he is a complete liar. He's a race baiter. He is anti-white, not only in his rhetoric and the rhetoric of other political leaders in South Africa, but also by the government's actions. It is 100% not true that the South African government has not yet reappropriated land from white farmers. Now, the expropriation bill is a recent bill, but the fact of the matter is that a ton of land was reappropriated and redistributed to other people and stolen from white farmers who are Afrikaners, Boers, of the European Dutch descended people who took a major part in founding that country and growing land where there wasn't agricultural farmland before, or growing vegetables and fruits where there wasn't agricultural farmland before. So yeah, if y'all want to end up like Zimbabwe and take away the farmland from all the white people just because they're white, then go ahead, and you guys will starve, and the South African rand will be worth even less than it is today. Or you could listen to what the Trump administration, don't even just listen to the Trump administration, listen to what the people in the country are telling you and saying, hey, we're being genocided, we have racial attacks on our farms, our land is being stolen and given away to other people, like, hey, listen to us. And, you know, President Trump has used the word genocide a couple times. Now I'm going to take the opinion of actually Breitbart News senior editor-in-chief Joel Pollack. He is a white South African-born man who is a conservative, my nose is running, y'all, who is a conservative journalist here in America now. He said that genocide could be a premature term to use. He said this on Fox News a couple weeks ago. But it's certainly, whatever is going on in South Africa right now is certainly a precursor to genocide because, like we've already mentioned, the land expropriation, not even to mention the sheer amount of farm attacks by gangs of marauders and other individuals who, unfortunately, it's majority black on the majority white farmers, killing, raping, stealing, other extreme forms of violence, including sexual violence and assault. So all these things, okay, it's in the hundreds, okay? There's over 100 farm attacks every year against majority white farmers. It's not into the thousands yet, like you may see in other genocides, but I think it's certainly a precursor. So I don't think that the president is really wrong for using that word. If anything, he is just warning what is to come, because unfortunately a large portion of South Africa, or at least a large portion of the South African government, in part led by this guy Julius Malema, I want to say his name is, who is the leader of the equivalent of the Communist Party over there, and it's a very big party with thousands of members, if not millions of members, I'm not really sure. But he leads this chant at multiple different events: kill the Boer, shoot the Boer, kill the farmer. And that's fine. So if it's not currently a genocide is coming, because this sounds like the lead up to the Holocaust against the Jews in Europe, honestly. The blaming them for all the problems in the country, the chants, the rhetoric calling to kill them and dehumanizing them. It just all seems all too familiar for me. But let's continue.
The definition of genocide is aimed at extermination, right? And so although there is violence in South Africa, there's violence against Black South Africans too. So when the president says that there is genocide, where is the evidence? The U.S. has not recognized officially genocide. The United Nations has not recognized genocide. And for the thousands of people who you say were let into this country who've been granted asylum,
Absolutely.
I'm talking under the Refugee Resettlement Program, which the president froze by executive order early in his administration.
Victor, can we take a pause and
Sure.
recognize the fact that you are defending race-based discrimination? You are defending race-based violence.
I'm not defending race-based discrimination in any way. The president uses the term genocide. There is no genocide in South Africa, and frankly, it does a disservice to people in countries around the world who are facing genocide in the Congo, in Sudan, those who faced it in Rwanda and Bosnia and Cambodia. So when the president says that there's genocide in South Africa, it does not exist. We should probably just start with that truth.
Okay, if you're going to allow me on your program, I'd like to speak.
You're welcome to.
we have granted asylum to 8,666 individuals since January 20th, regardless of color or creed. It is quite frankly disturbing to me that members of the media, including people who are on this very network, are trying to whitewash the facts and whitewash the fact that these individuals have faced discrimination, racial violence, the seizure of their land based on nothing but their skin color alone. This is the United States of America, a land of opportunity, and we will help those who are facing persecution from the government of South Africa.
So you clearly are not going to acknowledge there's no genocide in South Africa. What about the genocide in the Congo? Will there be this expedited path available to the Congolese and to the Sudanese who are facing actual genocide?
Again, Victor, 8,666 individuals have been granted
you have
asylum.
A specific.
So what they didn't even get to, and this whole mischaracterization is this fast track for only white people, and there's all these other people that need help. Okay, yes, Tricia did mention that 8,000 people from other countries have already been let in as asylum seekers. What she didn't mention, at least in this clip, and what she should have mentioned, is that 70,000 other South Africans have applied for refugee status. So out of 70,000, 59 were granted so far. That does not sound like they were fast-tracked. That does not sound like they got precedent over other people. And if they did, it was hardly so, because we've been taking thousands and millions of people from other countries for years. For years. The fact that just 59 South Africans, because they're white, in my opinion, pisses off the left. It pisses off, I won't even say mainstream media, just establishment media this much. I think you guys just have an anti-white bias at this point, because what else is there? What else is there? Because you guys are mad about the use of the word genocide. I mean, we could sit here and argue about it all day long. If there's like an X amount of people that needs to be killed before it's considered a genocide, or we have to kill all the white South Africans for it to be considered a genocide, then maybe we shouldn't let it get there. You know, that's kind of my point, is like, okay, regardless if we're on the way to a genocide or it's already being considered a genocide, shouldn't we stop it? Shouldn't we like at least try to mitigate it while we're arguing about it? You know, our 59 people who speak English, by the way. They also speak Afrikaans, but I actually was there in the airplane hangar at Dulles Airport last Monday when they touched down. They come off the plane speaking English, waving American flags. You know, they come with skills. They're farmers, they're agricultural people, they're humble people, in my opinion, from what I've seen from them. Is that really the worst thing in the world, bringing people who have a, you know, Western culture, speak English? Is that the worst thing? Are those the worst types of people we could bring into this country? And I'm not saying other types of people are worse, like they're morally worse or something like that. But like Tricia said, the Assistant Secretary of DHS, we've taken thousands and thousands of people. So the Congolese, the Sudanese that this guy is complaining about, I guarantee we've taken more Congolese people or Sudanese people or from any given country more than the 59 white South Africans that we just took last Monday. I had no idea it was going to piss people off to this extent when I went to that press conference. And I actually spoke to the Deputy Secretaries of State for Homeland Security, as well as for the Department of State. And I don't think they knew it was going to blow up this much either. I really am just shocked and baffled and frankly disgusted because it's become this whole big thing. There's so much other stuff to worry about. The 59 people, I mean, millions of people entered this country unchecked during the Biden administration. You guys are worried about 59 well-vetted people. Trust. I was there at this press conference. They were well-vetted people. And you could see by the amount of applicants that are not here, 70,000 other people who applied for refugee status from South Africa. That should also tell you how bad the situation is over there, because there's not that many white, I mean, there's a few million, but they're not by any means the majority of the country. So for 70,000 people, that's the size of a town, that's the size of a city, you know, a small city, to apply for refugee status. Okay, maybe let's hear them out. Maybe there is some type of genocidal stuff happening, but what do I know? You know, I'm just a privileged American, and I can't imagine what these people have been through getting here. So whatever. If we're going to just be sitting on CNN spewing anything, let me on CNN, and I will give my opinion, because clearly this is all just opinions not based on facts. And I'm going to sip on my Coke. That lemon is so good. All right. What do you guys think? Because I do read the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So please reply in the comments what you think about what Tricia said, what you think about what's the narrative that CNN is pushing, and what you think about the South African refugees in general. Should we take more? Should we send them back? Is it a genocide over there? I don't know. Please tell me. I'm going to read it. And if you don't want to comment, just like, share, and subscribe to Politbrawl anyways, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.